One concept that is incredibly important as a product leader is to delineate between precision and accuracy. I've seen way too many product leaders use these interchangeably, and they're just not the same thing. So what I wanted to do on this short video is make sure we're clear on the definitions, give you one example just from mathematics that I think will really make this clear, and then ultimately build upon that by talking about the difference in a forecast from a precision versus accuracy perspective. Okay, so let's start with some definitions. When we think about precision, what we're really saying is that there's a lot of information conveyed in a number, or in the case of a forecast, because again, that's where we're beginning to turn our attention, there might be a lot of information conveyed in a forecast. For example, the number of digits in a number. On the other hand, accuracy is less about the amount of information and more about the correct information being conveyed in a forecast. And so if you were to use the concept of pi, for example, that most of you learned in grade school, precision would be a number that has lots of decimal places, even if the number is completely wrong. Accurate might be just 3.14, not a lot of digits. And obviously, the best of those, when possible, would be a precise and accurate number, i.e. 3.14, and then you continue through many, many more digits. So you can see in the example below the difference between something that's precise but not accurate and something that's not precise but accurate. Now, again, obviously the best option here would be a precise and accurate number in most cases, but it's a lot of work to be precise and accurate. So the question is, if you can't spend all of your intellectual calories on both of these, what should you be optimizing for? And if you can't be optimizing for both, it's really important to optimize for accuracy and not precision. Don't fall into the trap of just because a number is very precise, assuming it's accurate. A great example that I won't say who it was, and honestly I've had many, many students do this over the year, is to give me the statistical significance of an analysis they've done while the overall analysis is wrong, right? It's great to talk about number of decimal places and how precise you are in your answer, but if you're just doing the wrong work, it doesn't matter how many numbers you are. And unfortunately, way too much of business education today is about teaching people to be precise instead of encouraging them to be accurate. Let's think about it in the context of forecasting revenue, because I think this will make it real. So first of all, just generally, if you're trying to forecast revenue for a given product, what's the information that you need? Well, when you're optimizing for accuracy, the first thing you want to ask yourself is just a general question. Is this forecast going to be driven by sales activity, marketing activity, or some combination of both? If it's sales, right, then you're going to end up looking at things like sales cycle, probabilities by stage, salespeople and productivity metrics around those salespeople, and maybe even doing it by different customer segments. On the other hand, if you're focusing on more something that's driven by marketing, you're probably going to look at things like acquisition cost by channel, what your activation percentages are, and maybe some type of retention or referral program, depending on the model that you're using. And obviously, if both, then you've got some context of marketing qualified leads that are putting into sort of number of leads per salespeople to ultimately look at sales productivity per lead. But you can get the sense here at the high level, these are the kind of things you want to figure out to help you come up with an accurate sales forecast. And again, if you're doing it this way, one of the ways that you can really embrace this concept of optimizing for accuracy instead of precision is instead of saying, here is exactly the right number for the work that I'm doing. Instead of taking that approach, you could say, okay, I believe that the outcome will be somewhere between these two numbers, sort of a low and a high estimate. And you might even say skewing closer to the low or the high. And ultimately, that may be more effective for you than a very specific answer on the amount of revenue being delivered. So with that, like what I want to encourage you to do here is, as you're thinking about all the forecasts we're going to talk about over the next couple of videos here, make sure that you're thinking about, okay, how do I really optimize for accuracy when I have to make this trade-off between precision and accuracy? And is it important enough that my answer here needs to be both precise and accurate? Hope you enjoyed this video. Maybe give me an example in the comments below on a time where you fell into the trap of focusing on accuracy instead of precision. I'll try to respond to each of those. Thanks.